Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll be doing a detailed camera review of the new Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. Now Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G is the latest device under the 11 Pro series. Now we have two devices, the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Plus, something very similar to the Redmi Note 12 Pro and the Pro Plus. Now this device comes with a 200 megapixel triple camera setup. So we'll be analyzing how good the experience is. So this device has a very neat design. Actually, the camera layout looks very good. It's a triple camera setup, and all the three cameras are aligned in the same line, and you get the LED flash on the top. The 200 megapixel camera is mentioned here. Now let's talk about the hardware, and then we'll come back to the camera sample. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's first talk about the hardware on the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. Now you get a 200 megapixel camera. That's a sensor. It's a Samsung's ISOCELL HP3 sensor with f1.69 aperture, and it's a 7p lens, and this comes with optical image stabilization included. So that's the primary camera. It's a very good super zoom camera, the 200 megapixel camera. Now the secondary is an 8 megapixel shooter with f2.2 aperture, and then you get a 2 megapixel macro sensor, which is quite similar what we find on most of the smartphones. Now on the front panel you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera, again f2.45 aperture. So that's the camera experience, or rather the camera hardware. Now let's also talk about the UI experience. If you look at the camera UI, you can see that we get 0.6x, that's ultra wide, 1x, 2x and 4x. Now this is the lossless zoom capabilities with the 200 megapixel sensor. That's something which is pretty good. And apart from that, there is also street photography where you get 16mm, 23mm, 46mm and 92mm. Basically the focal length has been changed again with the zoom capabilities. So that's the option. So now you get other options like high res, and then super slow motion, dual video, long exposure, macro option. So these are the options included. So let's talk about the camera samples on this device, and let's see how good the experience is. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures. Now most of the images what we shot on this camera was shot during cloudy conditions, so we couldn't actually test under bright sunlight, but looking at the captures you can see that they come pretty good. There is good detailing as well. Colors are quite okay. Realme has a tendency to saturate a bit, but more or less quite good overall. You can see the dynamic range is really good. The consistency of colors is also good, but we feel there is a bit of over sharpening issue. This could be fixed via software update, but overall we feel the camera has done a quite good job. The primary 200 megapixel camera, there is good details on offer because it's a large sensor and does quite well in terms of daylight condition. Now as I said before, there is also option to zoom in. You can see here this is the 2x lossless zoom, and this is the 4x lossless zoom, and you can see that the quality is really good. And apart from that, you also get this street photography wherein you get this 16mm, 23mm, then you get 46mm, this is the 46mm, and then you also get the 92mm. So color consistency more or less looks quite okay. So that is the daylight captures. Overall we feel it's quite a good camera. It's capable, and it does need a bit more refinement in terms of sharpness levels. Otherwise it's a solid camera out there. Now let's have a look at the ultra wide angle camera. Now this is really good pictures from the 8 megapixel shooter, although the sharpness levels are not as good, but the detailing and overall color quality is almost similar to what we get on the primary sensor, and the dynamic range is also good. So Realme has done a pretty good job with the ultra wide angle camera. Now next let's have a look at the close-up images. So you can see that the colors are a bit saturated, especially the greens and red. This is typical Realme problem, saturation issues, and this can be actually fixed with the software updates. But overall the clarity of the images what we have taken in close-up looks quite good. The detailing is good, and overall sharpness levels are also quite acceptable. Now this also has a 2 megapixel macro sensor. It's quite a decent capture, but nothing to write home about, but still we feel it's a decent macro camera. Now let's move on to the portraits. So this is one area where Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G is not really consistent. You can see that the colors are not really accurate. It's a lot saturated, and the consistency of the portraits is not that good. But skin tones are quite good overall. There are different options also available in terms of portraits. You can change the portrait modes as well, and does quite work well, but this is again needs a bit more fine tuning. Next, let's talk about the low light captures. Now, indoor lighting and artificial light conditions, we feel this is quite a capable camera. You can see the details are pretty good, but when light drops further and in extreme low light condition, you can see that there is good dynamic range, and the details are also good here. Although there is a bit of exposure issues at times, but more or less at this price segment, we feel Realme has done a quite good job with the low light captures, and they are quite detailed, and the sharpness levels is also acceptable with the low light captures. Now, moving on to the selfie camera. Here again, we feel Realme has done quite a good job with selfies. You can see that the skin tones are pretty good. Again, there is a bit of whitening issue. Skin tones are more or less like personal choice, so you can judge how good the captures have come. Here is the low light selfies taken with this device, and overall we feel even the portrait selfies have come quite good with a good dynamic range, and the edge detection is also quite acceptable. So selfies are more of a personal choice, so do let us know what you guys think about the selfie camera. Let's move on to the video recording. Now, this phone can record videos in 4K 30 fps, and the problem with the 4K 30 fps is that it is a lot saturated video. It's not the colors are not really natural. It's a lot saturated, especially the greens, and there is no EIS included, and OIS does function quite well, but again it's a bit of shaky video. Now, the 1080p at 60 fps has pretty good colors. It's more or less natural colors, and here you get EIS plus OIS, and the video footage looks more stable, and the quality is also quite good here, and the sharpness levels and detailing also looks quite good on this video recording sample. And here is the 1080p at 30 fps sample, more or less similar to the 1080p 60 fps sample in terms of colors and sharpness levels. Once again, the stabilization looks quite good on this video. Now, there is also ultra wide angle camera available for 1080p recording. Once again, it's a stabilized footage and does a decent job overall. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. It can record videos in 1080p resolution, so there is no 4K support. So that's the quality, so you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is, and also the audio output from the video sample. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. This is the stabilized footage you are right now seeing, recorded in 1080p resolution, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is, how good the stabilization is, and the overall quality of the selfie video. So that was a detailed camera review of the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. So overall, what do I feel about the camera? So this is quite a decent camera, I would say, in this price segment. Obviously, it's definitely not the best out there, because we feel the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G does a better job in terms of overall camera performance. Now, this camera is quite good. There is good areas where you can see that the daylight shots have come good, the HDR is good, then the lossless zoom is also quite good. Actually, the details are good, but the consistency is not that great. Especially the saturation issues is one thing which Realme needs to fix, especially in terms of close-up images. The reds and greens are a bit too saturated in terms of colors, and the sharpness levels, it's a bit of over sharpening issue in the photos that also needs to be fixed. Now, the portraits is something which is again not consistent. As I said before, we have already tweeted about this on our Twitter account. The consistency is not that great. Again, colors are a bit too saturated in terms of portraits, but low light experience we liked it, and also the selfie experience we liked, and video recording is also quite good with OIS and EIS included for the 1080p video. So that was our experience with the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. For casual shooters, this won't disappoint, and the images looks good, but if you are really into photography and you want the best camera out there, probably this is not the best one out there, but it won't disappoint casual shooters. So that was our experience. So what do you guys think about the camera on the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.